Alright, this is about your transmission, okay? Everybody's fix to transmission problems on a Gen 1 is to stick a Gen 2 in it, alright? And it's not always necessary to fix for it. And reason being is not everything, according to everybody, Gen 2 is parts or the fix to everything. And that's not true. There's weak points to everything. And you know, like say Gen 2 head, everybody knows Gen 2 valve train is weak. It will split the keepers on you, it will drop valves on you. So I mean, not everything Gen 2, the blocks on a Gen 2 is weak. Not everything Gen 2 is the fix for everything. Gen 2 shift forks, Gen 2 this. Everybody wants to change to Gen 2. Okay? Not everything is better. Alright? And I'm gonna show you why you don't just buy a undercut second gear, slap it on, and then you're sticking back in the bike and you're good to go. That's not true. You have to take that transmission apart, check it for wear and tear, change out circlips, this and that, everything that needs to be changed. If you're gonna do it right the first time. Don't stick it back in the bike not right. Then 6 months down the road you're pulling it back out. Okay? And transmission, everybody says, oh, you got a bad transmission. No, you don't. You have a bad shift fork from it kicking out of gear, wearing the shift fork, wears the shift fork down, and allows it to kick out of gear. It kicks out of gear, slams in the second gear shift fork, slams back into gear. Okay? But if you catch it at the starting stages, it'll start off at about 10,000 RPMs, alright, under a heavy load. And as that shift fork wears out, it'll start happening more and more and more. You'll start rounding up the dogs and this and that, and it'll gradually, if you don't fix the problem, you will make the problem worse. So a simple fix now is going to be a lot harder, a lot more expensive fix later. And I can show you some. This transmission came out of a 06, okay, and it has a lot of wear and tear. Pretty much almost all of it is junk, okay, because it's too much work, too much to really worry about trying to rebuild this transmission. Right here, you see the wear on it? See the big lip wear down? The wear, all this is wear, okay. This is all worn and heated up, okay. Right here, more wear, all right. Right here, this is your second gear. All this is worn. Alright, if you look down in the groove, all that has been worn out from the shift fork, constantly slamming and then just kicking it in gear and holding it till it goes. Alright, circlips. These circlips, I always change these circlips for two reasons. One, once you spread them, they don't spring back like they're supposed to. Okay. Two, you can also see the wear and tear on it. You can actually see the groove cut in it. Alright. I always change these circlips. Don't put them back in the bike. They're cheap. Change them out. Alright. Alright. Now, on this shaft, okay, if you look at the back of the groove right here, you'll also see a lot of wear. Alright, I know it's hard to see without being here, because I don't have, you know, a good enough light to put in there. But right here in the groove where your shift fork sets, from slamming into it, actually wore that out. If you look at the tips of the gears, okay, if you look at the tips of the gear, they have been heated up and worn. Alright, also right here, you look at the tips of the locking dogs, they have been rounded off. Alright, pretty much all these have been rounded and worn. Here's a good one right here. If you look at this one right there, it's got a big 45 on it. Alright, the back sides of them have been worn. Oh, you can see that one good right there. That's been worn. Alright, another one been rounded off. Alright, so I mean, there's not just slap another second gear in there and go. There's a lot of stuff. Honestly, everybody I hear, Gen 2 transmission, better shaft, this, that. Let me tell you this. This transmission has been abused badly. It's junk, pretty much. Alright? Few usable parts, not many. But the one thing, out of all this damage, the one thing that looks good is the shaft. I see no physical damage on the shaft. So, everybody says you have to change the Gen 2 transmission because the shaft is better. Out of all this damage on this transmission and abuse, the best looking thing in the transmission is the shaft. So, alright, when you start having problems with your transmission, it kicks out of gear. Alright, it's normal. It's normal for a Gen 1 to happen. 9 times out of 10, when it starts happening, that's when people sell the bike, which I never understand. It's about a $1,200 fix. That's with somebody pulling the motor, splitting the case, getting the transmission undercut, new shifter pin seal, new gaskets, putting the motor back together, all that. You're looking at about $1,200. Alright, and while you're in there, I'd slap in Pro Shift Star, okay, to help it at the high RPM shifts. It helps with the second gear kickback in the neutral. Alright, to me, it's worth every penny. Alright, I use them on every bike that I do. Alright, and also go ahead and stick 3 heavy duty springs in there. I use the EBC heavy duty springs, okay, on the clutch. I turn the first plate in line with the rest of them. It gives you a little bit more wear on your clutches, okay. It's if you're going to take the motor out the bike to do this transmission work, do everything that is going to help your shifting ability while you have it out, okay. And I mean, I just don't understand pulling the motor out, pulling the transmission, sticking a new set of shift forks in there, and not undercutting it. Alright, not getting the transmission inspected, tore apart, inspected. I don't see changing a shift fork, buying a $60 second gear, slapping it on the shaft, putting it back in the bike without checking out the rest of the transmission. Makes no sense to me. If you don't do it now, it will catch you later. Okay. Hope this helps any people. Or if anybody has any argument with what I just said, alright, because a lot of people are stuck on sticking a Gen 2 transmission in a Gen 1. Alright, feel free to comment. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. We help each other out. We give information. If it helps somebody out, or if you feel that it's better the other way, voice your opinion. Later.